Okay. Hi there, good morning. It's Chris Barrow on Saturday the 6th of June 2009. I'm at the Scottish Exhibition Centre in Glasgow, and it's day 3 of the BDA conference. And as always, when you start videoing, somebody starts on the public address system. I just wanted to give you a quick update. We've been on the show for coming up to 3 days now, and what's been going on. I'll tell you what I think have been the highlights of the show, for me personally anyway. Bear in mind that I've actually spent the whole of the 2 days just networking on the conference floor, so I've not been to any of the presentations. It's not what I do when I'm here. I can't tell you what the conference proceedings have been about. I can only give you feedback from dentists who've been in those proceedings. But what I have done is I've spent the last couple of days wandering around the exhibition, talking to a lot of the exhibitors, trying to find out what's going on out there. So, a few quick thoughts. First of all, what I'm going to say to you is that I think that the BDA conference has suffered, probably because the World Aesthetic Congress is on in London next week, and the conference has been full of predominantly 2 groups of people. One of them has been VTs, and the place has been absolutely swarming with VTs for the last couple of days. A lot of them are flying home drunk, I think, this morning. And after the VTs, there's been this enormous age gap, and then we've had people that are kind of in the upper echelons of the BDA, who are probably 50 and over and wandering around with toilet chains around their necks, looking very important. All of the standard exhibitors are here at the conference, but interestingly, I was chatting to Annie this morning, we've not seen many of the people who are supplying products and services for the aesthetics end of dentistry. It's been very much nuts and bolts dentistry that's been represented around the conference floor. Obviously I'm here on the IDH stand, which is just over there behind me. You probably can't see it, but as always, as far as IDH is concerned, it's been a recruitment exercise. There's been a lot of VTs on the stand talking about job opportunities and other people as well. Bizarrely, I've actually got into a couple of conversations about practice acquisition, which have actually got legs, so I'm quite pleased about that. I think that the mood, this is going to sound quite bizarre, but I think that the mood of the conference is that there's not much going on. Does that sound weird? Normally when you get to a conference, there's a real big theme that kind of goes through it. It might be some government initiative on funding, it might be some big change in direction, it might be some economic influence in dentistry. There's no feedback. The dentists that I'm meeting are coming out of the show and saying, well, the presentations have been interesting, but they've just been interesting. And I think that probably actually everybody's got one eye on the television screens looking at what's going on as far as the government is concerned. Probably got another eye on the television screen to see how they're getting on in the Big Brother house, and they're just coming in here and they're having a wander around, and everybody's staggering out the door with the biggest bags of free samples that you've ever seen in your life. So what am I going to say to you? As a thought leadership event in dentistry, I'll probably get shot for this, but for me personally, a bit of a non-event. As a place to network, it's been fantastic for me, and I have had probably 3 or 4 meetings with product and service suppliers in dentistry who have asked me to speak at conferences later on in the year, and that's fantastic kind of future profit work for me. A couple of products I've seen that are of interest, and I'll be finishing in about a minute or so, but I've seen a very, very interesting product from a company called Molar Limited, who are introducing a perio charting system. It's been designed by a periodontist called Richard Snowd, who's based down in Reading. And I can't do justice to it because I'm not a dentist, but very, very interesting. It's quite a sophisticated perio charting system, and having listened to Richard talk about the clinical side of it, which I didn't understand,
Delegates are advised that sessions will commence in 5 minutes.
What I then did was I went on to talk about, well, how can you make some money out of this? And they've got a £2,000 system, £2,000 a year system, that they reckon could generate anything up to about £80,000 of sales. Now that got my attention, and so I'm going to be looking at that going forward. The other big product at the exhibition for me is, and I hope I'm not giving any secrets away, is that 3M Espay are going to be bringing a digital oral scanner to the marketplace, which will actually make taking impressions obsolete. So what happens is that they've got a system that scans the patient's mouth, and almost like CAD-CAM, that's it. If you need trays for tooth whitening or whatever, it's just done through an upload to wherever the trays are made. Fantastic, no more impression material. Like everything else, it's probably going to take 5 years to get off the ground, but I think it's very innovative and I can see the use for it straight away. Well, after that, a pretty good conference, but pretty good is what I would say. I'm kicking myself now that I'm not going to WAC next week, because I'd quite like to see what's going on down there. But you know what, I've had a blast, and by the way, Glasgow is one of the friendliest cities in the UK. We've had an absolute blast both nights that we've been out. I did wake up on Thursday morning with flea bites, which was a bit of a surprise, but we got a fantastic upgrade as a result of it. And 2 great nights out, one last night at a Russian restaurant where we ended up doing vodka shots with a guy that's in the next Harry Potter movie, so you can't say that very often, can you? So that's my report. Nothing great earth-shattering. Hope you've enjoyed it. Speak to you again soon. Cheers.